So today we're going to do a slow cooked wood stove meal. But also we're going to be reviewing this, which is the Ozark Trail 5-quart cast iron Dutch oven. This is the first Dutch oven here at the cabin, which I'm excited about, especially for outdoor cooking, but we're going to just use it today on the wood stove. Usually I use just a cast iron pot that we have here, but I think that this is thicker and better than the pot that I usually use up on the wood stove to make these one-pot meals. Big upgrade, I think, and we're going to tell you how we like this, as well as show you a very easy to cook campfire meal or wood stove meal. You can cook this same meal on a campfire, a slow burning campfire, or a outdoor fire pit, or do it like we're doing and just put it on top of the wood stove and let it simmer for hours, which is what we'll be doing today. So we've got the wood stove going. It's winter, it's 10 degrees outside, so of course the wood stove is going, but I just put in some smaller wood, which helps with much hotter fire for cooking. And we've got the cast iron Dutch oven up on the wood stove for about a half hour now, sort of preheating, getting it ready. So let's show you what we've got going on here as far as this easy to make recipe. So here we have our Dutch oven up on the wood stove. It's been preheating, I suppose, but we've just taken the top off, and I'm going to just add some very simple ingredients. First we have, this is a 1 can of chicken broth. You can see that wood stove's good and heated already. So this is just actually I didn't have any chicken broth, so I'm using a can of chicken noodle soup. I'll leave the noodles outside for the critters. Raccoons will eat anything. I feel bad for them out there. It's a harsh winter. They're out there looking for something. This is a rough chopped small onion. Put that in there. Let's see, we've got our carrots. You can use any carrots. I use these. This is easy. You don't have to cut or peel anything. It's just one bag of these. Throw those in. And you can use beef cubes in this recipe if you don't want chicken. I've done it with fish, beef, pork, whatever. But here we just got some, these are chicken thighs. I think there's 4 of them here. So I'm going to put that in. This is, like I said, this is man cooking. This is very simple. Those go in the middle. And we'll put we have, I have some, and I've got some just chopped up potatoes. Any potatoes will do. If you don't have fresh potatoes, you can, I've done this with canned potatoes. You buy those canned pre-sliced potatoes. Those work out just fine. And there we have it. Now we're just going to need some spices. Looks pretty good. Here we have the chicken parts in the middle, carrots and potatoes surrounding it. We've got some onions in there and some chicken broth. If you don't have chicken broth, you can use water, bouillon cubes. I've done this without chicken broth, just a little better with the chicken broth. Now we're just going to add some salt and seasonings. This is some sea salt. I have something here called Kickin' Chicken. I'm not even sure what's in this, but it's a little spicy and it's real good. So we get a generous amount of that going in here. Again, this is just some spice I found at the local store. Kickin' Chicken. And, you know, that I use a lot here. It's great for grilling chicken on an open fire. Looks real good. And we're gonna do some pepper. So just salt, pepper, and a spice of your choice. And here we are. The Dutch oven has been on the wood stove for about 3 hours now. Should be done now. Take a look. Beautiful. Looks beautiful. Looks cooked. We're going to check it. I'm going to throw some more seasoning on the other side. We didn't season the bottom of that chicken. So I flip the chicken. This is simple. Just flip the chicken and give it a little more seasoning. Okay. So now I'm going to put the top back on for another probably half hour, just to be sure everything is well cooked. So here we are back at the wood stove, and the Dutch oven has been going for another half hour, 45 minutes. I'm sure everything's done. We'll give it a look. Oh yeah. That is beautiful. That is beautiful, friends. And here we see the chicken. The meat is falling right off the bone. Potatoes good and soft. Yep. So dinner's done. I'm going to take a moment and get this plated. Be right back. Well, friends, here we have our finished dinner. And I got to say, everything came out. It looks great. Carrots are well cooked. Potatoes are soft and well cooked, tasty, good amount of spice that we put on there. The chicken itself is pretty amazing. The meat just falls right off the bone. This, my friends, if you're going to cook cheap chicken parts like thighs, wings, you know, this is the way to do it. Ordinarily, I would not get excited about chicken thighs. Right? But there's just something about slow cooking them over the wood stove for hours and hours, slow roasting them. Really, really, yeah, it's juicy, it's tender, it's falling right off the bone, well seasoned. Came out great. For a first run, I gotta say, I've made this meal before, but usually in a regular pot, not a Dutch oven pot. For a first run, you know, I'd say this was a pretty good success. I'm very pleased with how our dinner turned out. I hope you'll give this recipe a try. It's super simple. It's so easy, even a man could do it. That's something that my wife would say, right? And I suppose the other thing would be, what do I think of the Ozark Trail 5-quart cast iron Dutch oven? Well, so far I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 stars. The only downside that I saw to it so far is that it comes pre-seasoned. And a lot of people will tell you that pre-seasoned cast iron will be problems for you down the line. They don't do a good job seasoning them. You're going to have to season it yourself. I just decided I was going to be okay with that because this is a really inexpensive budget Dutch oven. You can get it at Walmart very, very inexpensively in their camping section. So I wanted to review something that anybody could get, anybody could find. This isn't a $100 Dutch oven from a more well-known, more traditional brand. But so far, it's done an incredible job. And I also have to say, it's roomy enough to cook, you know, a meal for 4, say. My wife and me and the 2 children. More than room enough in this 5-quart one, I think, to do this kind of wood stove Dutch oven cooking and dinner for everybody. So the size it's a good size. It performed very well so far. It's sturdy. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. The only downside I see is, like I said, it comes pre-seasoned. I am going to clean up the Dutch oven when I'm done eating tonight, and once cleaned up, I will season it myself. I've heard that's a good thing to do with some of these the ones that come pre-seasoned, is to bake them in an oven for a while and then season them and bake them in an oven again. So just out of an abundance of caution, and to try to keep this this thing good for us for years to come, I'm going to take good care of it and re-season it.
As far as this recipe goes, this is a recipe I make all the time. It's so easy. You just dump chicken parts, potatoes, carrots, onions, peppers, whatever you got in the pot. Just leave it go for hours and hours. Trust the wood stove, you know. And this meal, the one thing I'll say though is these kind of one-pot meals are not good if you're really hungry. Like if you worked all day and it's you know, quitting time and you just want to eat, this may not be a good option for you because it takes hours, right? I believe that we let it go for 3.5 hours, but the wood stove is not really kicking in here. You know, the wood stove is at a low level as far as temperature goes, so it just kind of slow cooked and slow roasted for over 3.5 hours, and dinner's done. Everything happens a little bit slower at the cabin, and I gotta tell you, out of the hustle and bustle and rat race of the city, you kind of appreciate, you know, like this is an incredible meal, and it didn't take 20 minutes in a microwave. It took 3.5 hours on a wood stove. But I gotta tell you, I love it. And the meals out of these one-pot meals are the best, especially if you are working. Like here today, I was working on the cabin. I'm doing some things in the other room, so it's not an inconvenience for me to just come in every once in a while and check on it. I didn't have to stir anything. I didn't have to do anything. I just sort of lift the lid, check on it. Okay, give it another hour, right? So yeah, these one-pot meals are great if you got something to do for a few hours, right? And you can just wait it out. And it's super convenient to make these one-pot meals. Like I said, I don't have to stir anything. I don't have to do anything. Once you throw those ingredients in, you just gotta wait, right? Maybe re-season it. Taste it. If you don't think it has enough seasoning, add some seasonings. Well, friends, I'm gonna eat my dinner. I want to thank you all for joining us. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this channel with some friends that you think might like what we're doing here. Until next time, friends, my name is Stephen Cambion. Good night, and God bless all of you. I'm going to eat the rest of my dinner now. Hope to see you again here at the cabin. Good night.